Hi, Phil Aston here from Now Spinning magazine. I've been asked if I'd do a tribute to Gary Brooker, who recently passed away, who was a key part and the main songwriter and the person we always think of when we think of the band Procol Harum. Now, I haven't approached this as a tribute because I know a lot of people think that I have a record collection or CD and vinyl collection that encompasses every band in the known universe, and some of you very kindly call me a musicologist, and because I seem to know a lot about a lot of musical type of stuff. But I'm not someone who has shelves and shelves of Procol Harum, so I didn't feel as if I was qualified in doing a tribute towards this great man. However, one of two people reached out to me and said, you know, he hasn't really been covered online as much as some of the other people who've recently passed away. And it did make me wonder, because Gary, Procol Harum, the music is in my collection, perhaps not as much as some other bands, but they're in it, and it's also influenced me a great deal. So as I do this tribute, I am again very aware that I'm talking about someone's husband and father and family member. And so I do dedicate this video to Gary Brooker and all fans of Procol Harum. So all I can do is tell you my story and then show you what I know that might be useful for you to track down if you wanted to get to know Gary Brooker and Procol Harum. Because I did see a lot online, people saying, I know this is a really important band, but I don't really know where to start. So that's how I'm approaching this. You're going to think that I'm going to start with A Whiter Shade of Pale as being my entry point, and I'm aware of that single, and I do have it on the DRAM label, I believe, which I've just gone to try and find, and I can't actually find it because it's not where it should be. But I did buy that at the same time that I was buying Nights in White Satin and all the classic singles when I was a kid. But the actual Procol Harum song that I first bought was this one, which was Pandora's Box, which was from taken from Procol's 9th album. Now, I really like Procol's 9th album, and I know a lot of people look back at it now and say it was a weak album, but I wonder if some of you watching this will agree with me. It doesn't matter whether the album is not seen as one of their classics, or it is, but the album that you first discover by an artist can usually, and it is for me, the one that I feel the warmest feelings towards, because it was the one that opened the door. And so Procol's 9th and Pandora's Box, the riff on that song and the performance, I just absolutely love. If there are two albums by the band that I would say are essential, and this is my personal feelings towards this, it would be A Salty Dog. These are the Salvo releases that I'm showing you, and these I've just picked out a couple of them. They were at their zenith when this came out, you know, and it's got some great tracks on it. Progress even, Salty Dog, Devil Came from Kansas, etc. And it's a great album, but the one I play the most is this one, Broken Barricades. There's an obvious reason why I'm going to pick this one out, because I'm a huge fan of Robin Trower, who went on very soon after this to do Bridge of Sighs. But on this album, Robin is breaking out into his he's developing his voice that would eventually become his trademark, and he'd become a name of himself. But this album features some absolutely superb guitar playing from Robin. There's a song on here called A Song for a Dreamer, and which is absolutely superb, and Broken Barricades, and there's a long fade on the bonus on this, so I would recommend that. There are lots of best of Procol Harums out there, And but I'm going to show you one now, because I think this one is also from Salvo Records, who did all the Slade stuff as well. And it's not too hard to track down, but I think if you're someone trying to get into Procol Harum, this is a goodie. And here it is. It's called And All This and More, and it's a 4-disc box set. It's 3 CDs and a DVD. So I'm going to take you through this now, and I'll show you what's inside it, and we'll go along from there. So All This and More, Procol Harum. This is my tribute to Gary Brooker, and a box set that I feel that if you want to discover more about the band, then this is a great place to start. So it's a 4-disc set, 3 CDs. One of them is all live, and the other one is a DVD, which I'll come back to in a moment. It folds out into 3 panels with the discs here, and there is also a sumptuous booklet as well, very well put together. So I'm going to quickly go through this so you've got an idea of what it looks like. So it's very well written. It came out in 2009. Lots of great photographs. Everyone in the band who was around is involved. And goes lots of memorabilia. A very in-depth history. There's a young Robin Trower there. Some posters and as well from different gigs, because again they were there at the tail end of the 60s. Salty Dog. And this was the Edmonton album, which I haven't mentioned, but it's not around me at the moment, but that was also a great live album. And it's interesting how this band really did move from one thing to the other in respect to how they developed their sound. And they're not always on the radar for a lot of rock fans who grew up with rock and metal like me and traditional prog. And it's people like myself who missed out for a long time. Here's a picture of Gary and Keith out in 2009. And the 1993 version, you've also got a picture of Jeff Whitehorn on guitar there. He's another great player. There's a family tree, because this is a band with a massive family. And it goes into great detail, going right through to Procol Harum version 23. And then there's some more notes, single covers, handwritten notes as well. There's a picture of Matthew Fisher there from 1967. A picture of Robin Trower as well. Shine On Brightly. That's another good one. Salty Dog, which I've shown you. The Home album. Unbroken Barricades, which as I said is probably the one that I play the most. Grand Hotel is another goodie. And some more pictures, some live pictures from 1973 from the Hollywood Bowl. And you've got Exotic Birds and Fruit. That's another album. A lot of these albums are available in 2 and even 3 CD sets now. Procol's Ninth, which didn't have a lot of great press, but as I said, I really like that one. And then 1991. Some more recent stuff here, and another picture of Jeff Whitehorn playing guitar there. The booklet goes through each track. So here, I'm just going to roll back here. So you see what it says 2-7, that will be disc 2 and track 7. I would have liked to have said which album actually on the page is saying that, but that's basically what they're doing. So you've got CD 1, which has got a lot of the classics in here. You've got the suite here with 17 minutes long. If Hell 'Twas in A, and Salty Dog, White Shade of Pale, obviously, and CD2, some of the later tracks, Pandora's Box, which is the one I really like. Then Live in Concert, that covers things from 1974, 1993 and 1971, Edmonton. So there's some classic tracks on there. And the DVD has things from 1974, but primarily 2006 and 2001. So more recent stuff, if you think of it like that. But it's a great set, and it wasn't that hard to find, and that'll be the Procol ninth lineup from 1974. And as I say, all the tracks are on the back, and it's on Salvo Records, and it's a great place to start. That's all this and more. A great box set if you wanted an introduction to the music of Gary Brooker and Procol Harum. I know the song that which resonates to this day is A Whiter Shade of Pale. You know, We Dance the Light Fandango, and that song has been covered by many people. In fact, I think one of my favourite versions is from the HSAS, which is Sammy Hagar with Neil Schon from Journey, when they did a version of it, which is absolutely superb. Glenn Hughes from Deep Purple has done a fantastic version of it. But there's something that's almost ethereal as a point in time from that original version with Gary singing, without knowing what the words mean. It just resonates, doesn't it? It's almost, I've used this phrase before about a voice being an instrument, used in conjunction with the instruments you have in a band. But I think it's the delivery that Gary gave that song, the sound of how he vocalised the words, and whether the words you identify with them or not, it still touched you in your heart, and it's a timeless song. So I would suggest that, you know, if you have access to a streaming platform, you give Procol Harum a listen. And also, as I say, I've done my best here to think about this from the point of view of someone who's coming to Gary Brooker's music and Procol Harum for the first time, and where you should start. And as I said, I haven't got all the albums myself, but I'm really, really appreciative of how all of these artists, and I think this is the thing about, all of us, whether you're my age or younger or even older, there's so much music came along during this explosive time of the late 60s and 70s that we just latched onto what we felt were the biggest things at the time, which we could spare our money. And for some people it may have been Procol Harum. For me it was bands like Deep Purple. And it's now in my later years that I'm going back and realising the expressionism, the progressive nature of music back then, the voices, the importance of the sound and the creativity from this period. And all these kids back then were roughly the same age. What a wonderful time. And now, of course, if you're a lot younger watching this channel, you have access to everything that I mention. You can go and listen to it all. But again, as I want to say here, it's having the tactile feeling of buying a physical product that makes the difference. So thank you for watching, and thank you for Gary Brooker and all the music. And your music will live on and will be discovered by brand new people from videos like this, from streaming, from the radio, from somebody in an interview saying, oh, I used to listen to Broken Barricades, or maybe you're a Robin Trower fan, you want to know what he did before. Music is everywhere. Music is the healer. Music is very special. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for ringing that little bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Thank you for becoming patrons. Thank you for being with me on all the platforms that Now Spinning is on. And I look forward to seeing you on my next video.